One superpower I would have would be teleportation, because you can go anywhere you want without like much hassle.
For my superpower, I would want really good memory so I could get hundreds in all my classes, and then I can grow up and be successful. That will forever get used.
I think I would like super intelligence as my superpower. I don't know. I think I would like given the teleportation, maybe I can just figure out a way to like teleport myself if I have intelligence.
Limitless shapelifting.
Why is it?
Shape shifting, not lifting. Because then I could do like pretty much anything. Oh, I want to lift a freaking car, I'm suddenly muscle man.
Okay.
If I want to fit somewhere tiny, now I'm like that big. I don't care.
Okay, I choose flying because it'll take less time to get everywhere, and I could also help people in need. Like, I'd be able to soar above and see who's in need and help them.
If I could have one superpower, it would be flying, because I'd be free.
I would probably want to understand the universe if at all possible. I just think it'd be interesting to see how limited the human mind really is.
Okay, my superpower would be to teleport because I've always wanted to travel the entire world and see all the cultures and experience everything that other people experience in life. So yeah.
If I could have one superpower, it would probably be to fly, because then I could get around more easily.
Superpower would be invisibility, so I could sneak up on people and scare them.
My one superpower would be the ability to convince someone to do anything. Because then I can make people do anything I want.
If I could have any superpower, it would be immortality.
If I could have one superpower, it would be to read people's minds. Why? Because then you could get an idea of what people are thinking and respond properly, and get different points of view. Be a little bit more understanding of the way people are thinking.
Flight. I think it would be really cool. Fly.
So I would want to be self-sufficient, so that way I wouldn't have to eat or drink, so I could just do whatever I wanted and not have to worry about like staying alive.
If I could have any superpower, I'd have super speed, so no one could ever catch me and I could do whatever I want.
Okay, so if I could have a superpower, it would be the ability to control time. That'd be pretty awesome. What do you mean why? It's just awesome.
I don't really know why. My superpower would be invincibility or invulnerability. I don't really know why. I guess because it's in our nature to fear death, and maybe I'd never have to die.
I'm told that I can pick my own superpower, so I made one up. My superpower is to be able to generate as much money as I desire at whatever time I desire, because that way I can accomplish whatever I desire.
The superpower that I would have is something I made up myself. It's called Ricochet. So what you do is you boost after you accelerate by maybe kicking off the ground. It's somewhat like super speed, except in super speed you can't have a high jump, where in the boost you can have a high jump. With every boost you get acceleration, which makes you faster. So it's better than super speed, but in the speed department. In control, however, you won't be able to control as well as super speed. In super speed, you're moving your legs extremely fast, so you'll be able to make turns. However, in Ricochet, you can only ricochet, as the name implies. At the same time, I would have to have shock absorption, because if I didn't, my body would be destroyed after a single ricochet.
Okay, so if I could have a superpower, it would be to have the resources that I need to do what I want to do when I want to do something. So that I could be able to do whatever I want.
If I wanted to have a superpower, I think it'd be time control, because we all know we make mistakes, and you can go back in time and correct those, and learn from them. And then sometimes you might need some time on your own, so you just pause time and then do whatever you want, and then you can go into the future and see what your future holds for you.
Alright, so if I could pick any superpower, it would be the ability to read people's thoughts, because I feel like most superpowers are kind of for joyriding, but with telepathy, being able to read people's thoughts, you can use that like every day in actual life, and nobody will ever have any idea that you're a superhero. You can just go about your life normally, and you'll just be abnormally good at saying the right thing, or avoiding uncomfortable social situations, or like picking the right friends. And I think that would be really helpful, and also really difficult for somebody to find out.
My power is going to be reading people's minds, because I'm not good at doing that in real life. And I really want to know what people think about me, about things, about when I'm talking, things like that.
Time manipulation. So I would not make mistakes and everything would be in my favor.
If I had one superpower, it would be to fly. Because when you can fly, or well, I wouldn't know, but if you could fly, I would imagine it would be such a like a freeing and like fulfilling experience. You know?
I want admin powers. Imagine like all the powers that devs would have in a video game. Like now they give those to me. That means I'll be able to spawn anything, despawn anything. Like say I don't like that guy over there. I could just like despawn him.
If I were to choose a single superpower, I would go with omniscience, the ability to know and process everything that is happening about me in the known universe at any given moment. Because using that information and the ability to process it, I could extrapolate this data, and since I would know every single possible outcome, I could use this to predict the future outcome and manipulate the situation as to get any desired outcome I wish to happen.
I kind of want telepathy because I feel like any mental edge that you get from it would like definitely outweigh anything that you get from like strength or being able to fly or other strength-based superpowers.
Super speed, because it'd just be...
I want to control minds. That's my superpower. Because once you control minds, you control everything and everyone in everywhere that you want.
If I could have any superpower, it would be super speed. Because it's the best superpower.
The superpower I would pick is teleporting, so I could see other places and not have to be at the school with your
Time travel, because then I could fix all my mistakes.
I would say my favorite superpower would be to control lightning, because I really enjoy rainy days, so I would prefer a thundering. Yeah.
Teleportation, because I can get to places a lot faster.
Ignorant bliss. Then I would be able to not have to deal with all the bad things that you guys have to deal with. I would be a god among men, basically.
Okay.
In my own world.
invisible, so you can like follow them around and see what they say about you, things like that.
If I had one superpower, it would be I would want to fly, because I have always thought that it would be cool to be able to fly.
Go.
Okay, what's the power again?
Teleportation.
Okay, yes, that will be the part that I want, so you can go anywhere you want.
Teleportation, because I like Dishonored.
I would want to fly so I don't have to ask my mom to drive me to anywhere.
Time control, because if I could control time, then I could do whatever I wanted in practically no time at all whatsoever.
Power will be fastness, because I don't want to be late to class. That's why.
I have the power to refill anything, because then if I was thirsty, I could refill my drink, or if my bank account was low, I could just refill that too.
Alright, power, easy, telekinesis. 1, I can move things with my mind. 2, I can read minds. 3, I can become strong. 4, easy, I can lift myself up and fly. 5, it's the best superpower. I'm smart and I'm strong with my mind. I can do anything I want, that is why. Peace.
If I were to have any power, it would be the power from Xavier from X-Men, the ability to control and mind. Because I like control and being in power, so So I would like to be able to control everything in my life by being able to get into everyone's mind.
The ability to fly so I can go and see people far away.
I want to have the ability to tell lies just so I can become the best lawyer ever.
If I could have any power, I'd have the power to be invisible, so I'd be able to listen in on top secret conversations and, just get the in on different things that are happening.
Well, if I could have any superpower, from a guy that's had 30 to 35 operations and surgeries, it would be regeneration. If I could get injured or my body break down and just fixes itself, no surgery, I would love that.
If I would have a superpower, it would probably be something like an ability to communicate with all different kinds of things, either with life, like plant life and earth life, or other cultures or other things. I would want to be able to communicate in all ways.
If I had one superpower, it would be to teleport. Because I would love to visit different times and to jump forward and backward whenever I wanted to.
I would want to have a genius intellect, like that of Tony Stark, so I can make my own suit of armor and protect those I love.